jerk. She was used of the enemy. She would persecute and oppress Hannah because Hannah was not able to have a child. And it said the Lord had closed her womb. It wasn't the devil, it wasn't the lack of faith, but she was not able. And this woman, it says, whenever they would go up, Hannah would go to worship, that's when Peninnah would focus in and bring her oppressive words. She was used of the enemy. And Hannah would cry out to the Lord in her inability. The kingdom is about impossibility and promise. And here's this woman, it was impossible to have a child. And then God moved and she was able, and Samuel was born. And it says that every year Elkanah go up to Shiloh to worship the Lord. Shiloh was where the tabernacle of Moses was. God had said in Deuteronomy, way back in the days of Moses, when you come into the land, you don't just go anywhere and under every green tree or every high hill. You don't just go everywhere and offer your sacrifices. You come to the place that I designate, there you shall go, there you shall offer your sacrifices, there you shall keep your feasts. And the Bible tells us that when they took the promised land, they then set up the tabernacle of Moses at Shiloh, and that became the designated place. And Elkanah would go every year to celebrate the feast, probably Passover, with his wife Hannah. I don't know if Peninnah even went. Yeah, I think she probably went. Anyway, and Shiloh was the place. But Shiloh was a place of mixture and evil. The high priest was a guy named Eli, and he was just a picture of mixture. I mean, he had a heart for God and a heart for the Ark of the Covenant, but he wouldn't deal with stuff in his own family, and his sons were evil. They were just evil. They not only corrupted the offering of the sacrifices and twisted what they were doing with that, they would also get involved immorally with the women who were there to serve in the tabernacle. The Old Testament tells us that there were women who would leave their lives behind and dedicate their lives to serving in the temple or the tabernacle. And it was kind of like we think of the Catholic Church, we think of nuns. It'd be like that in the Old Testament. And these women, as they would give themselves, these two guys were so evil, they used their position of influence to groom and seduce these women and move into immoral relationships. This was just plain evil. And God got so ticked at these guys, he set his face to kill them, which he used the Philistines to do that. But Shiloh became known as a place of mixture and judgment and destruction. So much so that hundreds of years later, in the days of Jeremiah, when the Babylonians were going to come and destroy Judah because of her sins, Jeremiah said to the people of Judah, this place is